Hi, all. My name is Kiera, and I decided today to vlog my medical school journey. From my research on YouTube, I couldn't find many non traditional student videos or even medical students with children. So I decided to vlog my journey to med school and share my story. So, a little bit about me: I am 28 years old, I am married, and I have a 3-year-old son about to be 4. Woohoo! So I got accepted to Ross University School of Medicine, and I will be starting there next month. My husband was also accepted, but he will not be starting until January of 2019. So we both will be going through this journey together, and you'll see him soon on my YouTube channel. And so I just want to tell you how I ended up choosing to go to Ross and what led to that decision. I have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree. When I graduated from undergrad, I knew I wasn't going to be competitive enough to even apply for med school. I graduated with a GPA of 2.56, which is horrible. I didn't know better. I was a first generation graduate, and I have had an expensive lesson of why you should really take your time and do well in undergrad. So because my GPA was so low, I knew I couldn't go to med school. So I decided, well, maybe I'll try the nursing route. It's still a good field to go into. It's still within medicine. Let me do it. So after 1 year of doing nursing school, I realized that I was cheating myself. Like, I always knew that I wanted to be a doctor, and by becoming a nurse, I was settling for something that I never had plans on doing. And so I decided to drop out of the nursing program after 1 year, and me and my husband moved to Atlanta, Georgia. Well, as we were moving to Atlanta, Georgia, I did find out I was pregnant, which kind of pushed some things on the back burner. However, I didn't lose sight of my goal. When I left Illinois, I was determined to 100% fulfill the dream of becoming a doctor. And so I had my plan, but God had different plans. My plan was to go back, retake all the prereqs, and then apply to med school. Well, at the time, I had a friend that was like, maybe you should reach out to somebody, get a mentor, someone who's been where you've been or going where you're trying to go. So she did put me in contact with one of her friends who was actually in her last year of medical school, and she advised me to actually contact the school and find out what is it that I can do to make me competitive enough to apply for their medical school. So I reached out to the school, and they advised that, yeah, I could go back and take the prereqs, but it would be more beneficial to actually do a master's. And so I pushed forward, and I had to retake organic chemistry too, which I had a D in undergrad, which wasn't acceptable to get into med school. So I retook that the summer of 2015. Once I completed that, I was able to apply for my master's of biomedical science. In order to get into the program, they did require me to take the MCAT. I had no idea how to study for the MCAT. I did the best that I could and took it and didn't do well at all. Um, but I still was able to get into my master's program. After the first year of my master's program, I did very well. I ended the year off with a 3.4 GPA, and I began studying to take the MCAT for the second time. I studied all summer long, and I took the MCAT. I improved, but it wasn't competitive enough for the schools that I wanted to apply for. And I was very disappointed with it because I knew that I was going to have to take the MCAT a third time. I also applied to 15 to 20 schools, which was very expensive, and I was rejected from all of them except for one, which was the school that I was attending to get my master's of biomedical science for. They held my decision on the basis of me retaking the MCAT for the third time. Well, I retook the MCAT the third time and did worse than the second time. And that ultimately led to them rejecting me from that school as well. And so I was a little disappointed, but I believe there's always another way. And so I looked into the Caribbean route because I didn't want to spend another year sitting out of school waiting to hear back from schools. I didn't want to take the MCAT for a fourth time, and just didn't want to lose a lot of money. And the Caribbean route, yes, there's a stigma with the Caribbean schools, but they wouldn't be in business if they wasn't producing doctors. And I feel with my mindset, my faith, that I will be able to go to a Caribbean school, complete my medical school education, and obtain a residency. So you guys will be along with me on this journey. And I chose Ross University because Ross University actually has a school for medical students that has children on campus, pre-K through 8th grade, which was perfect for me. It allows me to go to class as well as have my son right on campus going to class as well. So, like I said, I will be starting Ross University School of Medicine next month, and I will be back with more videos.